Then I had another person buy 2 cards. You want to get them to buy more than 1 card. Use that volume discount on there. This is nice. Welcome to SMPostcards, everyone. Every week I try to put a video out. It has 4 sections to it. What's sold? I do a special topic of a certain postcard type. Today we're going to do state capitals in all the states in the United States. Changed up the sell-through rate a little bit so we can see what each state is. Do you know which one is the highest sell-through rate of all the states and which one's the lowest? I'm going to show you that. And then I put a poll out on Saturday mornings. So it's what's sold special topic and a poll or some data or some kind of numbers. Something different is what the poll area is of the videos. And every Saturday morning I send a poll out about 9 or 10 o'clock Central Time. And I ask questions of postcard sellers and stuff. And this week was, do you keep lids on your postcard inventory boxes? I get a lot of questions like that because people are starting out, they're not for sure. I'll give you my opinion, what I do, and then I got some comments and we'll see the survey results. And at the end of all the videos, I randomly take comments from email and YouTube and different places. If you put it on YouTube, I consider it public. If it send me an email to contact@smpostcards.com, I won't put that out there unless you say I can or I ask you and stuff like that. If it's in YouTube, I consider it public. Everybody can see it anyway. So the viewer comments is just comments, random comments that I have my opinion on, give you my reply, and what other people are asking. You'll be amazed at some of the questions because you think it's common that everybody would know it. And some people starting out or some people doing a while just got caught up in their way and didn't know there was a different way to do it or just a different spin on things. It doesn't mean you have to do it the way I do it or what they say. It just keeps everything in focus in the viewer comments. But I sold a bunch of cards for this video overnight. Sold 41 postcards for $209.15. Average sale price $5.10. You're saying that's going to take a while to go through. No, not really. I'll go through them pretty fast, a little different. Most of the cards sold between $4 and $5, a little over $5. A few of them might be over, so I'll just go ahead and show you the cards. We'll get through the what's sold. You want to look at the variety these people are buying. They're buying this batch here, these 41 cards are all over the place. There's not one linen or chromes. There are map cards, there's buffalo, there's just a bunch of things that you'll see. And some of these cards started from my oldest cards all the way to my newest cards. So I sold almost all the shelves, all different places. So let me go ahead and get started on what's sold. We'll get through that, then I'll go through the state capitol, the special topic, hit the poll, and then we'll hit viewer comments. So stick around. If you want to skip, down at the bottom I put chapters. You can skip to the section that you'd like to go to and you can come back later and watch it again. Or watch the whole video and watch it again. Okay, the first card that's sold, see if I can keep these straight because it's going to be a mess if I screw this up to ship afterwards. First one is aerial view of Sarasota, Florida. It's a linen card. You can tell that from back here with the colors. And this was posted in 1949. We're going to be going to Sarasota soon. When doing this video, we'll probably, when this comes out, we'll be back. But we go to Siesta Key every year. Been going over 25 years. We go down there, a bunch of friends. We know a lot of people that go down the same time we do, and we spend a week down there. We fly into Tampa, drive to Sarasota, and then Siesta Key. So we really like it there. I don't think I want to live in Florida because my family's up here and stuff, but it's a nice place to visit. If you're looking for a good vacation, we walk out our front door, we're right on the Gulf of Mexico, right on the beach. So it's really nice. And it's not that expensive. If you look, you get one of those rentals. It works out pretty well. Next one is I sold a Christmas card. I don't sell too many holiday cards. It's an embossed Christmas tree. Nothing on the back. And it kind of shines if I don't drop the tree. Let's see if I can get it to shine. There's some little glitter on the balls that shine. So that card sold. Of course I sold a boat. This is the Monterey, USS Monterey. It's got a little curve to it. Some of these cards, the way they stored them, have a little curve in them. Then I had a couple people buy more than one card per order. This gentleman bought 3 of the same ship. They're all the same. It's the print on light paper. USS Harder is what it is, submarine. and I'm sold out of those cards. I'll check and see if I have any more in the closet, but this was $13.95 for those 3 cards. Next one is I sold 28 cards to one buyer, and this isn't the first big buy this person's done, but 28 different cards for a total of $148.10. Average sale price for these 28 cards is $5.29. They got, since they're buying more, they get the 15% volume discount from eBay on there and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and go through, and I'm just going to walk through these pretty quick. And this is the lava trees. They call them lava trees, and this is Hawaii lava trees. Then we go to the desert sunset. This is West 6th Street looking east, Racine, Wisconsin. Divided back, we get more lava. This one's in Hawaii, island of Hawaii. That really sticks out in the listings when you get red lava. And then you go out to buffaloes. They bought a buffalo. Then this is an older card, but it's a kind of United States Army Fire Department. And right there. It's not a real photo, it's a printed. But that one right there. And then we got, this is a Union Oil Company. Remember, these were premiums given out at gas stations, and they say these are one of the first chromes, and you can see that on the back where it says 76 and then Union Oil at the top. There, I have a video about series postcards that have talks about these, but they say these were the first chromes given out. But Jerome, Arizona, there is a checklist in that video too, where you can go out and get a checklist, and you can capture and get all these cards on different years, and they actually are pretty good. The checklist is pretty good out there to tell you when it was done. This is some kind of Confederate General Stonewall's estate or something. It's like a painting, and it was just a chrome card. Then we get into the map cards. Everybody's seen these before. This is Kansas. This is Vermont, and these all sold for that $5.10. And these are Missouri, Montana, Washington, starting to see a thing, Oklahoma, Delaware. Anything Delaware you want to take a second look to. It's not a big state, not a lot of postcards. So Arkansas, Kentucky, Georgia. This is a linen. This one is. The other ones are chromes. Then we got a Disney. We got Baloo. This is Disneyland. And you remember what I said? Which one's first? Disneyland. Disney World is in Florida. That was second. And then you got Fountain of Friendship in Jacksonville, Florida. Chrome card. Then you got Huge Nebraska Feedlot in the Beef State. Cows. Then you got Indian symbols. So if you want to look up the symbols of Indians, got a little chart on this postcard. This is American Indian symbols and their meanings. Reference card. I just did a video about Route 66. Look what I sold. Route 66. It's posted. Route 66 map card. And then this is casino. Now we're getting into Vegas. Remember, this is one person just hunting through the store. Sands Casino, Vegas. Posted. Chrome card. This one is the Main and Fairmont, the Las Vegas. I think it's the Las Vegas Club. Fremont Street. Another casino. Then we get into Country Club Plaza, Kansas City, Missouri. This is a linen card, posted 1937. Another map card, California. And North L. Robbins Avenue, Pasadena, California. It's got a writing tab on the side, posted. And it was posted in 07, I think. But that's that one. So all of those cards, again, that order from that one person is 28 cards, $148.10. Average sale price, $5.29. I love getting those. Doesn't take me long to pull them. 28 cards, probably 15-20 minutes. With the way my system is set up, and they're ready to be packed up, I'll pack them up in I'll put them in a Ziploc bag. However, it gets a new sleeve, so they'll get a new sleeve, and then I'll put them in a Ziploc bag for water. And then I put a little bubble wrap in the little white box so it doesn't slide around. So I put them in one of those little bubble wrap sleeves I got a ton of those. And then I'll probably $148 would be first class priority, whatever I want to feel like doing with that. But it's a pretty good order for me on there, and that'll go out today. So they're already pulled, I just got to pack them up. Next one is a person that bought 2 cards. This is Sunsetter Inn, Sunsetter, Florida. It's a multi-view card. These are called, I call them multi-views, and they got different things on there. Chrome card, $4 to $5. And then this is the golfing. This is the same place. So those 2 cards are the same place. Golfing always does good, another multi-view. So those 2 cards together, $8.50. Then this person bought this one. Now this is, I'm going to be doing a video on some of the ship things. I'm not an expert on Navy ships, even though I got a huge amount of Navy postcards. I learned a few things. And what's interested me is the history. And one of the things that they talk about is the Great White Fleet. And I got some postcards with that on there. And I looked up a little information about it before, and I got this. This is the welcoming ceremony for the Great White Fleet in China. This is one of those prints, and they printed this out. And just to give you a little teaser here, the Great White Fleet was a group of naval ships that traveled around the world between 1907 and 1909. One, to show the power of the U.S. naval force, and also to create development and trade and let people know, make packs and stuff like that. And that's what the Great White Fleet is. And that's about as far as I've gotten so far. But I'm going to be doing a video on the Great White Fleet because there is some postcards out there with that. Especially, I want to learn a little bit because of the naval ships I have. But it's called the Great White Fleet. And the reason they call it the Great White Fleet, I read also, most of the ships are white, colored white. Next one, this person bought 2 cards. This is Edgar Count, 2 Edgar Count. Edgar, it's Edgar, E-D-G-A-R, and it's Martha Vineyards. Right there, and that one. This one's posted, this one's not. So he bought 2 Edgar Counts. $9.30. Then I had another person buy 2 cards. You want them to buy more than 1 card. Use that volume discount on there. This is high school, Athol, Massachusetts. Looks like it's a hand-colored card, tinted up at the top. Didn't look too much into it. Divided back, posted. And then you got Shriner, Texas. So they brought a Massachusetts and a banner card of Shriner, Texas. $9.30. So again, that's a total of 41 cards, $209. Average sale price $5.10. What are my goals? $70 a day. How many $70 do I got in the 2009? It's like 3 days there almost. I met $70. Average sale price is going up. And the number of cards, I met that today. I sold 41 cards today, so I want to do 14 a day. So this will help out the average. And I don't count on days like this every day. I like them, but they come lately few and far between, but when they do come in, I take care of the customers and get those out. But remember, it's that $150, $140 I got for that order, that's not my money until the person says they got it and everything's good. So I just let it soak, let it come in, put it away. I don't go spend it because could be issues. I haven't had any issues with postcards that much. In the tour world, I'd get them every once in a while, but postcards, normally not. So, but I just have a rotating thing. So that's what's sold. Special topic, State Capitol Postcards. We've all seen them. I think there's a postcard, multiple postcards for every state capital. There's Harrisburg, there's Springfield, Illinois, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Albany, New York. How many pictures of the staircase can there be? Postcards. And you got Oregon, you got San Francisco, Florida, Tallahassee, Arkansas. There's just state capitals all over the place. And I wanted to key in on the buildings. The query was kind of difficult to do. I had to take out some stuff because I kept getting capital sports teams and stuff like that. So I was putting stuff out there. So I got as close as I could on the sell-through rates on there to get rid of some of the things that were coming up in the queries. But not everything's clear. But this is state capital in the title. Postcards with state capitol buildings, basically. And then the title. But I'm going to go ahead and show you some state capitol postcards I found while I talk a little bit about state capitals. Here we go. State capitals hold a significant place in the history of each state, serving as the seat of government and witnessing the evolution of governance over time. These majestic buildings often embody architectural grandeur and reflect the unique stories of their respective state. From the grandeur of the Texas State Capitol rising from the ashes to become an iconic symbol of Texas pride, to the California State Capitol standing as a testament to the state's growth and transformation, each state's capital has a rich history. Whether it is Albany, New York, with an impressive Capitol building showcasing a fusion of architectural styles, or the Ohio State House in Columbus bearing witness to the state's progress, these state capitals stand as living artifacts, embodying the history, culture, and aspirations of their states. They continue to serve as important landmarks, attracting visitors and reminding us of the enduring legacy of our democratic institution. Now, I got 7 facts here of different Capitol things. I'll read them real quick here. The Texas State Capitol in Austin, completed in 1888, stands as a prominent example of Italian Renaissance revival architecture. It was constructed as a replacement for the previous Capitol building, which had burned down in 1881. The California State Capitol in Sacramento has a rich history dating back to 1869, when construction began. The building served as the state capitol even before its completion in 1874. It underwent various expansions and renovations over the years to accommodate the growing government. So the postcards with those, you might want to look before and after views and stuff. Albany, the capital of New York, has been home to state government since 1797, when it replaced New York City as the capital. The New York State Capitol building, completed in 1899, showcases a blend of architectural styles including Romanesque, Renaissance, and classical elements. The choice of Tallahassee as Florida's capital can be traced back to early 19th century, with territorial officials sought a more central location to alleviate tensions between the eastern and western regions of the state. Tallahassee became the capital in 1824, and the current Florida State Capitol building was completed in 1977. Denver, Colorado became the capital of the territory in 1867, and it remained the state capital when the Colorado achieved statehood in 1876. The Colorado State Capitol building, completed in 1894, is renowned for its distinctive gold-plated dome, which symbolizes the state's historic gold mining heritage. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, became the capital in 1849, succeeding New Orleans, which had previously served as the capital. So New Orleans is not the capital of Louisiana. The Louisiana State Capitol building, completed in 1932, stands as the tallest state capitol in the United States. That's huge, reaching a height of 450 feet. It is also notable for its Art Deco architecture. And then the last one, the Pennsylvania State Capitol building in Harrisburg. How many postcards can there be of that? I do sell them once in a while, but God, there's so many postcards of that in New York and Albany. Has a fascinating history. The original building, completed in 1906, a lot of dates being thrown out here, was deemed insufficient to accommodate the growing government, leading to construction of the current Capitol, which was finished in 1906. It is considered a masterpiece of arts architecture and features a stunning dome inspired by St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican City. So there's a lot of history. That's just touching a little bit right there, what I told you about the capitals. But do they sell? That's the question, right? That's what we're looking at as resellers. So I went out and I took all 50 states and I put postcard Georgia. And I did like state capital and stuff behind them that. But what you'll see here is postcard space and the state name. But there was more to the query to weed out and get the right stuff. And I'm going to show you the first one is going to be the sell-through rate for each state, the sold divided by listed times 100. That means how many postcards are moving through the eBay system for the data they give me for 90 days is what I believe it is. So I took the number sold divided by listed. I just times it by 100 to get a percent to make it easy to read, and I round up to or round down below to the whole percent. So here's the alphabetic order of the states. And I'll put it on the big screen because it's too big to put on one screen, on one thing. Here's all the states from Alabama all the way down to Wyoming. Pick out your state. My state is Illinois. It's 2%. Remember, if you're watching my videos, 4 to 6% is about the average for postcards. That's the middle ground. QSL cards and stuff are down to 2, 3%, and then Disney and all them and stuff are up in the 20. Illinois is at 2%. Am I going to rush to list any Springfield Capitol postcards? No. Am I going to price them up? No. The sell-through rate is not there. I got to do something to get them to sell. It's hard to look like that. You want to know what the top ones are, so your eyes are going all over the place. So what I do is I sort it. I did high to low. And that's what this is. What sticks out at the top? Hawaii, 11%. That and New Mexico are pretty well outliers to the batch. And then you get into Texas, Wisconsin, Nevada, or really Texas and Wisconsin, 7. Then you got a bunch of in the 6, and then 5, 4. But then it really breaks off in Alabama down to Kansas. And Kansas, 1%. Don't pick up Kansas things on there. But why is Hawaii 11%? Now, one of the reasons I think is because of statehood. I'm going to read a paragraph here. I'll throw some Hawaii videos up while I do it, but it's important to understand Hawaii's statehood, the history of that, and when it became a state. As cards before statehood are sought after sometimes more than the other ones, and you can get some extra dollars for some of those. So I thought I would take the time to talk about how it got to statehood, because that's the last state that came in, and why. And you'll hear a lot of postcard people say, or ephemeral people say, pre-statehood. And that they're probably talking about Hawaii. And I think I just put up a postcard for $80 some in my store, $60. It was a pre-statehood, way before they were state in there, and that's one of the things I looked at. But I'm going to read a little bit of history here, and it'll refresh myself, and it'll give you something to think about as well when you see Hawaii cards, and it might help understand why it's 11%. Hawaii became a state of the United States on August 21st, 1959. So in 1959 is when they were statehood. Prior to its statehood, Hawaii was a U.S. territory for almost 60 years. The process of Hawaii's statehood began in the early 20th century when Hawaii's sugar industry sought closer ties with the United States. In 1898, Hawaii was annexed by the United States to the New Lands Resolution, which made Hawaii a U.S. territory. So in 1898, they were a U.S. territory for over 60 years, almost 60 years. And then in 1959, they became a state. For several decades, there were debates and discussions about whether Hawaii should become a state. The issue gained momentum after World War II, when many veterans returned from the Pacific Theater with an appreciation for Hawaii, Pearl Harbor, and its strategic importance. Hawaii's diverse population also played a significant role in pushing for statehood as they sought equal rights and representation. Finally, on March 12, 1959, Hawaii held a referendum in which 94% of voters supported statehood. The vote led to approval of the Hawaii Admission Act by U.S. Congress and President Dwight Eisenhower. So Eisenhower is the one president signed it into law. So if you want to remember the date with Hawaii, when was Eisenhower president? He signed into law on March 18, 1959. The official ceremony declaring Hawaii as the 50th state of the United States took place on August 21st, 1959. Since then, Hawaii has enjoyed the same rights and privileges as other states in the United States and has 2 senators and representation in the House of Representatives. Hawaii's unique culture, natural beauty, and strategic location in the Pacific Ocean has made it a popular destination for tourism, and it continues to be an important part of the United States both culturally and economically. We spent a little over a week in Hawaii some years ago. We stayed on Oahu, right on the Waikiki beach there. And we drove around the whole island and stuff like that. Really nice to visit. Beautiful weather, nice people, and stuff like that. But that's statehood for Hawaii. So you want to understand 1959. So if you get a postcard and you think it's earlier in statehood, check those out. I always double check Hawaii's anyway. I always pick up Hawaii. But Hawaii's 11%. So if you got a box of state capitals and it's half full of Hawaii, you know what to pay for. If it's full of Kansas and Illinois, go on to the next box. But if I bring up the one here and it's low to high, here's all your low ones in order: Kansas, Minnesota, Colorado, Indiana, Maine, Illinois, Missouri, Massachusetts, Washington. Kind of all over the board, but the average across them all, I think, comes about 4 or 5% for the total sell-through rate of just State Capitol, Postcard State Capitol, comes about 4%. So it's an average card, but there are some in here that just don't do well. So let's take a look at the prices. Go out and I find the extreme prices, the higher priced ones, just to show what they are. And while I was looking, I found another one of these postcards that are really priced high, and it has the stamp. It says because of 1 cent Washington stamp or something there. So I'm going to put that up on the screen here, the big screen, and I'm going to show you the postcard and the stamp. And maybe someone like Steve or somebody out there, Holton, that does stamps, can tell me, is that stamp worth anything? Just to what you can see on the screen. I know you probably have to see a little closer, but is it true to what the pricing is of this, what they're saying? So this is the postcard, United States Capitol at night, and this is what caught my eye. Washington, D.C. is not a $169 card, especially that card. Those are very common. And it says postcard posted, then it has GW, I figure it's, that means George Washington, 1 cent stamp. So they had a close-up of the stamp, so here's the stamp. So does that bump it up from a $3 to $4 card to a $170 card? I have no idea. I can't even put an opinion on this on there, because when I saw the card, I said, it's a Washington, D.C. card? That's never going to sell, but then I had seen the thing stamp. Anybody out there that stamp people, let me know if that's a unique stamp, or is that normal like our Forever Day stamps, or whatever. And kind of reset me on that. So I can't really comment, is that right or wrong, if I don't know stamps. So now, there wasn't a lot of high price, out of the ordinary State Capitol cards that I could really talk about. So I used that one with the stamp. But here's the normal sold high. And if you notice, they're not real high, but they're affordable. You got a $49.95 best offer for the State Capitol in the background there. And then you got a $29.95 for the Florida Capitol. And then the other one at the bottom there I put in there, because it's not just the State Capitol building. This is the barber shop in, what state was that? Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. This is the barber shop in the Capitol. So there's other pieces to it that you're going to get. And it says the cost to build that was $3,256 right on the card. I had to look at it if they're saying this card's worth it, but that's what it costs to build the barber shop. So you'll see other things like that, and that's sold best offer for probably 20 bucks. So all those right there, I would say $20, $25 is the high end. Not very common. And then you get into the low people. You got the $1.20, you got the $1.50, and then you got the $1 in there. I've talked about that before. But your higher ones, I would say about $20, $25. Your low ones, $4 to $5 is what I put them at, $1. And then you get into the state listed ones. And this is where I've always run into issues, and people contact me, what about this? How can they do that? Just throw them out. Throw the real high ones out, throw the real low ones out, take the average. Find the average of cards that are selling. It's for accounts, but I like to look at listed just to see what people are thinking out there, because sometimes they think like sellers or buyers do. Well, that's a really rare postcard. I'm paying $20 for it. That kind of the thinking out there, because a lot of people don't know postcards like we do or do the research, so they're just going on a whim or they really like it, so they're going to pay up a little bit. So the list at $124 for the State Capitol building in New York, it's probably very common if it's a New York one. I question that one big time, unless there's something on there that I don't know, special card or something, but they don't have it in the title. It's at night, which helps, but if I go back and check, the sell-through rate on New York, let me find New York here, is 3%. And that card is priced at $124 at a 3% sell-through rate. The cards are not stacked up in their favor. Then you get into Oregon, Salem, Oregon, RPPC, which was kind of weird. It didn't really look like an RPPC, but then it does when you get closer to it. $60. State Capitol, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, another one. $39. A lot of those cards out there, New York and Harrisburg. So I kind of question some of the prices here. because of the sell-through rates are good. Now, if some of these were Hawaii, that would probably be a little different. I'd have to see statehood and stuff like that. Then you get into the low, the 99 cent, 99 cent, 99 cent. I've said enough about all that before. Just don't look at those. Just don't put those into your equation. Stay in the average is what I tell people. Throw the big, heavy ones out, high ones out, and the low ones. The chances of you having a $500 State Capitol card is very low. Do what you can. Do a quick comp if you want. I look at State Capitals kind of like I look at map cards. They all go for the same price because they're all common. They're out there. And just as you notice, that person, she bought like 10 or 12 map cards because I priced them to sell. And I give them volume discount. They're priced to sell. I'm not trying to get the last 25 cents out of every card. I made money on that deal with that because I buy the cards very low. I buy them in lots and negotiate a little bit on there, so because I know they're going to sit. Map cards don't have a huge sell-through rate, and I did a video about map cards as well. You can check out. So that's State Capitals. I hope that helps you. We'll be into the new sell-through rate stuff. I'm probably targeting around September to have an updated sell-through rate document done on the Ko-Fi store, and that's the link right here. You can get version 1 right now, but if anybody wants me to add anything to it, just send me a message. Contact MichelleMarkSales.com. Say, hey, add sell-through rate for this or this table. This bunch would be. I'm looking for ideas to put more stuff on there. It takes me a little bit of time to get all the numbers, so I figure twice a year to update. It's more of a guideline. It's not an exact science. It just tells you like this. Don't buy Kansas State Capitals. If you see a box of State Capitol postcards and there's no Hawaii's in there, move on. If you're looking to move cards, just because you get a box of cards, it doesn't mean they're going to sell. They're going to sit on there. I do sell them, but I don't remember any big ones. That's State Capitals. Go visit yours. The architecture is just cool. We're close to Springfield. We might go down there sometime, take the grandkids or something, go see it. Who knew? Now the poll. This little poll I do on YouTube. If you're subscribed, it goes out to you, and it's all anonymous if you vote, but if you leave a comment, then it puts your name in there. But otherwise, I have no idea in the background who voted what. Do you keep lids on your postcard inventory boxes? These are the boxes after you listed the card and you put them in where they're sitting until they sold. Do you use lids on them? A lot of resellers are adamant about keeping all that stuff and do all this and stuff like that. I don't, because I'm not going taking the lids off and on, off and on, off and on. I'm in these boxes all the time, every day. So I'm not going to take the lids off. Plus, I don't have water overhead. I would never put these if there's water above me on there. And I'm not worried about dust as much because I have them in sleeves. And I'm in my house. And I sell enough of them where they get moved around. So I'm not worried about it. I have the lids for boxes. No, I'm not going to sit there and stack. I used to do tubs when I first started with toys. I had like 4. I would line all the tubs up, those, what do you want to call them, buckets or tubs, with the Sterilite, the big ones that I could put a lot of toys in. And I had 1, 2, 3 on them. Of course, the bottom one was when it was sold, and I had to take all the 3 off. That's why I use what I have today, so I can just go to each shelf, reach in, they're by number, sequential order, so I know that box is there. I don't put labels on the front to say this is here because I move them around a lot. I make it simple. Number 1's in the corner and the highest number's over there. So it's going to be somewhere in between. I kind of know where the 300s are, the 400 are. Just lift the card out, look at the number. That's it. So I don't use lit. But 64% of people do. So it sounds like a best practice. I'm against the best practice. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't gain, I lose, is what I figured. I'm not against it. A lot of good things to have stuff covered. But 64% of people use it, so I think it's the best practice. 64% yes, 34% no. And I'd like to know more reasons why to know, or maybe it's about what I'm saying, they lift up and look and stuff like that. But if people use the Sterilite tubs and stuff like that, they got lids, and they stack them. They might have a room issue for space to do stuff. And then there's 3% said other. I pulled 3 comments for this. What is it? 5,000? So they said essential for dry environment due to dust. Postcards can be long tail items. Yes, they are. So I just have to dust the lids and not the individual postcards. All my postcards are in sleeves. That's how I store them. They're easier to go through. And I don't have a lot of dust down here. I have that little Medify thing too. It runs in the office, keep the card dust down, and it's decreased it for me. But I understand what it is. You get a lot of dust blowing in country. You want to keep your inventory clean. Thanks, what's that? Boulder Grill pickers. Some containers I use are hinged as well by default. So some containers already have lids. It works well. Thanks, Boldy. And Connie, I say no. For me, listing inventory is a no. Unlisted inventory is a yes. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff from Daniel from a Nashville haul. They're all in those really nice archival boxes that he got. They all have lids and stuff like that. They're still there. Once they go into my inventory, like Connie said, then it's no lids on them. And stuff. So there's really no right or wrong way. It's whatever your personal perspective is, but 64% of people do keep them covered. So it's just something to think about how much you want to protect your stuff. So that's the poll. Viewer comments. First one here. Karen. Thanks, Mark, for great information. Thanks, Karen. Thanks for the great ending of the fish. They are beautiful. So relaxing. Some people have watched the channel all the time and are new people. At the end of the videos now, I've been putting a short clip of some of my fish tanks. I just stuck the camera on a tripod and cut the video out. I'm doing more of the fish tanks. It just takes me a little bit to do. And also, we're going to Florida. I rigged up a little camera with one of my cameras that will go down. I put a weight and a string on it too, so when it hits at the bottom, it kind of goes up and down. It can slide up and down. So it'll hit the bottom with the weight, and then this will float up to the top and the bead will stop it, and it'll just sit there and take pictures of the fish. So there's some fishing piers that I might be able to get some really nice stuff out for the end of the videos and stuff like that. So I'm working on a whole bunch more. So right now you're seeing like 3 clips that I just rotate around until I get the other ones all done. But yeah, so Karen noticed that. That's why I like to fish. It is very relaxing. I like working with them and stuff like that. Some people ask me, how long does it take me to take care of those? So I feed them basically every other day. The lights are all automatic. They go on and off. The air pump and stuff like that. I usually do a water change once a week. I have little pumps inside each tank. I just turn on a power strip, and when it gets down to a certain level, I just have a hose. I fill it back up. About an hour to deal with that, and the one upstairs. And then twice a year, I do a little bit of heavier cleaning behind the tanks and the gravel and stuff like that, as needed and stuff. But each one has a different filter, and I'll change one a week. Mess with those. So it doesn't take a lot of time. I probably spend more time feeding them than I do cleaning them. But thanks, Karen. Sandra, true story. This is a true story. It's like a detective story. In reference to your acrylic story. So this is where I had a postcard. I sold it and I put in the title. It said on the back, acrylic painting or whatever. And I said, why did I put that on there? I shouldn't have put that on there. I didn't want the guy to think he was getting an acrylic postcard, so I messaged him before I packed it up, and he said, no, that's what they wanted. So I kind of messed up there putting that acrylic name in there. So she's referring to that. My sister sold a leather purse twice on eBay. It was in the shape of a saddle. A purse like a saddle. Both buyers returned the purse because they thought it was an actual saddle. Crazy. Yeah, that just tells you that people don't read. You can put whatever you want in your descriptions, titles, and stuff like that. Most of them don't read, and that proves my point there. Thanks, Sandra. Then Jack said this. Crazy. He must have looked at my store or what I'm doing or something. And you can see my store, SMPostcards.com. I don't hide anything. Get any questions and stuff like that, I'll respond. You just want a question. If it's personal stuff, no. But if it's anything with the store, you can see what I sold, what I got listed, stuff like that. I don't hide any of that stuff. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to just show you what I do so you can pick pieces out. Maybe something you want to do, or you say, well, that's working for him, or it's not working. I ain't doing that. Jack says, crazy, you just put postcard. My first word in every title is postcard. And a short description. Postcards spend a lot of time marketing. They did the work for you. It's right there. So I would put postcard, mutual home building, Dayton, Ohio. That's it. And then down in, if I want to do the item specifics, this is a linen card. I just click linen, and it's not posted. and stuff like that. I copy the title, I put it in my description. That's it. I'm not, and if there, say this has a corner bend really bad stuff, I'll put that in the description and the condition statement, say, you know, crease bottom right corner, real quick. So nothing, no dates or anything in the title. I don't put UDP, divided back. A lot of people don't even know what divided back is and stuff when they're looking for postcards. At the level I'm selling. Now your higher end cards, you might have to get a little bit more different, but like that's a different niche. For what I sell, picture sells it more than anything. The title gets them to it, the picture sells it along with the price. That's what they're looking. No dates, nothing. Free shipping. Yes, I just do free shipping. I never have to worry about refunding shipping. It makes it easier for me. I started that way, so I just keep it that way. I'm not going to sit there and play all the shipping games. I never have and never will. I don't cut flaps off boxes and stuff. It is what it is across the board. That's not going to change a person from buying from you unless you put it at $10 to ship a $4 postcard. They're not going to buy it. People can add. Free shipping makes it easy for me. So $4.65 is my base. $5.65, $7.65 up in my buckets, and I go from there. Now the higher end cards, different story. Those get first class or priority. Because eBay standard envelope, $20. If it's over $20, if the order is over $50, you can't use it. So I charge that. Plus, with the higher price cards, you want more robust tracking than eBay standard envelope. So he said, I'll rethink my postcard listings from here on out. Good stuff, man. So he's taking a little piece of what I do and maybe modifying to make what he does. And that's what this channel's about, is getting all the different pieces from different people and making it your own. And just sharing what you do. Someone might want to do it either. Just make it easier, more enjoyable, fast, so you can get in, list your cards, pack your cards, and stuff, and go move on with your day. And stuff like that. And that's what I'm trying to do, is I don't want to stand here for 2-3 hours just listing postcards every day. I want to get that part of it over with, go out and buy some more, do something with the family, and stuff like that. That's why I'm slowing down a little bit. But thanks, Jack, for watching and stuff. Let me know how anything comes out if you got any questions. So we talked about state capitals. Watch them. Look for Hawaii state capitals. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.